but Hawaii is still further west. So how would that make sense? Alright, guys, so we're doing some US geography, and there's a stereotype that Americans are really not good at geography, even their own geography of the US. And so let's have a look if AI can do better. Alright, so I'm going to ask it, what is the most southerly US state? And I did this already, and it's saying that Hawaii is the most southerly state. And I have Google Maps here, and we can see here fairly clearly that Hawaii is indeed the most southerly US state. Now, if I go kind of straight across here from Hawaii, we kind of cut across like the southeastern tip of Cuba here, which is a good bit further south than Florida here. So it's definitely the most southerly US state. So that's 1-0 to the AI. And in previous videos, you've seen how the AI just messes up all the time. But so far, we're doing good with Hawaii being the most southerly state. Now, what is the most northerly state? And it's saying that Alaska is the most northerly state. And again, this is absolutely correct. Here, the 48 states in the mainland continental US. And we have Alaska that goes way up here, way up like towards the North Pole. And so there's absolutely no doubt about it. Alaska is the most northerly US state. So we're 2 for 2 here. And let's see the next one. What is the most westerly state? And it is saying Hawaii is the most westerly state. So again, remember, Hawaii was the most southerly. That is correct. But is it the most westerly? No, it is not. Hawaii, here it is here. Let's zoom in a little bit. So it's a bunch of islands here. And looking at the map here, I think this is like the most westerly of the islands. I don't see any smaller ones here. So let's zoom back out. And we can see here where the international dateline is. Now it's pretty far from the international dateline. Now let's go up to Alaska here. And if we zoom in here, these are little chain of islands here. These are the Aleutian Islands. And here we can see this place called Adak, Alaska. And here it is. If we zoom out, we can see it's way further west than Hawaii. Let's go straight down here. And it goes to about here. So it's way further west than Hawaii. So unfortunately, AI has failed here with the most westerly state. Because the most westerly state is in fact Alaska. So we'll ask it a couple of more questions in a couple of moments. But first of all, I have this fourth question on the what is the most whatever state. So we have the last one, which is what is the most easterly, and it is saying Maine is the most easterly state. And if we look at the map here, it looks like it is absolutely correct here. We see Maine here like way further east than any of the other states of the US. So it goes all the way out to here. And if we draw a straight line, I mean, there's no comparison. But there may be a catch with this one. Now, this one is not the AI's fault. I gotta say that straight out. Because if you go across here and look at the international dateline. Now, look at how it doesn't go straight up here. It goes across and then it goes back up eastwards. So, why is that? It's because this island here, let's zoom in, is part of Alaska. It's Attu Station, Alaska here, this little island. And you could argue that it is actually west of the international dateline. So in fact, it would make it the most easterly US state, Alaska. So I just found this on Reddit. This is Map Horn subreddit. And it's saying, did you know that Alaska is both the westernmost and easternmost state? So it draws a straight line here for the international date line. And it shows you that these islands here are west of the international date line, which means they're east. West of the international date line. Now, I'm getting confused myself. This is confusing. But if you were to go by this, it's actually the most easterly state. So out of these 4 questions, it has gotten 2 correct. The first 2, it got the third one wrong, definitely wrong. And then the last one, I mean, I don't know. It depends on how you look at the international date line. So now I'm going to question it on the one it definitely got wrong, which is the most westerly. So isn't Alaska the most westerly state? No, Alaska is not the most westerly state. It is the most northerly, but it's not the most westerly. Hawaii is the most westerly state. It is located in the Central Pacific, about 2,000 miles southwest. Yada yada. And it's doubling down, guys. It's like the mainstream media, they're doubling down on their lies. So aren't some of the Alaskan islands more westerly than Hawaii? No, the main islands of Hawaii are more westerly than the main islands of Alaska. Now look, pay attention to the language it uses here. The main islands are more westerly than the main islands of Alaska. Now what does it mean by main islands of Alaska? The main islands of Alaska are the Aleutian Islands, which are a chain of islands stretched westwards towards Russia. The westernmost point of the United States is this island here, which I'm not going to try and pronounce, which is located in the Aleutian Islands and is part of Alaska. Okay. However, this island is still east of the main islands of Hawaii. And therefore Hawaii... Okay, so I'm going to look up this island here. Okay, Semisofokanai Island. Why did I try to pronounce that? Anyway, so here it is. It is trying to claim that this island is not as westerly as Hawaii. Look where Hawaii is. And look where this island is. I mean, it's saying straight out it's the most western point, but Hawaii is still further west. So how would that make sense? Oh my god. So I'm going to ask, is this island further west than Hawaii? Nope. It is not further west. Even though it is the westernmost point in the United States, yet somehow Hawaii is further west. Okay, so just to confirm that this is definitely incorrect by AI and Alaska is the most westerly, take a look at this map of Alaska here and look at the lines of longitude here. So this here is 180 degrees. So this is the international date line. Now this would be if it was straight. Now let's have a look here. Let's zoom in. So this is, remember, this is 180 degrees here. So we're going to go down here. And these are the Aleutian Islands, which are part of Alaska. So here is Adak here, and it's very close. And here, some of the Aleutian Islands go west of this line. And we can see here, this line here shows you the international date line when it kind of moves around to incorporate Alaska to the east of this line, so that it's all like in the same time zone or whatever. So as we can see, the Aleutian Islands like are right on 180 degrees, the international date line. So whichever way you look at it, if you want to use it as a straight line or use it as this line that changes, Alaska is straddling the international date line. So now let's look at Hawaii. And I will zoom in a second, but this is 159 degrees, and this over here is 160. And so let's zoom in just to confirm those numbers here. You can see clearly here 160 degrees west. And so that's like a full 20 degrees further east than what we just saw with the Aleutian Islands, straddling the international date line of 180 degrees. So we can see here that Hawaii is way further east than Alaska. So I'm gonna try and get it to admit it's wrong here. So let's see what kind of questions I can ask. Don't the Alaskan islands straddle the international date line? No, the main islands of Alaska do not straddle the international date line. The international date line is an imaginary line, blah, blah, blah. So they're all on the same side and do not straddle it. The Aleutian Islands, but they are not considered. Oh, wait a minute. So it admits the Aleutian Islands, which are a chain of islands that stretch westward from the Alaska Peninsula, do cross the international date line, but they are not considered the main islands of Alaska. And here again, it repeats that the most western point is this island, which is part of Alaska. So it's not counting these Aleutian Islands. It's saying it has to be the main islands. And again, it's just repeating the lie that Hawaii is the most westerly state in the U.S. And this is just so blatantly wrong. And in previous videos, I've managed to get it to admit to its mistakes, but I just don't see how I can get it to admit it's wrong here. And even if you were to say, oh, well, screw these Aleutian Islands, they're not really Alaska or America. Let's have a look at where Hawaii would be here. There's 160 degrees west. Remember, Hawaii is along this, and it goes like slightly west of 160 degrees. But look at all this mainland Alaska here that is way further west than 160 degrees. I mean, look at Hooper Bay right here. Hooper Bay is closer to 170 degrees west than 160. So I'm going to guess it's maybe 166 or 67 degrees. And this Hooper Bay is on like mainland Alaska here. Alright, so I got that one completely wrong. It will not correct itself. It is absolutely adamant that the state of Hawaii is the most westerly U.S. state, and no matter what way you look at Alaska, it is absolutely 100% the most westerly U.S. state, and not Hawaii. So I think I've proven that AI is just as bad as the average American is at geography. So be sure to hit the subscribe button, like this video, share this video, and if you have any ideas or suggestions, any topics you want me to discuss with AI and to show just how bad it is, let me know in the comment section. So until next time, see you all later.